Hi, Gemini, Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your Wood Dragon Chinese New Year reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps me out tremendously, and it gets this channel seen by the YouTube algorithm. So, thank you so very much for doing so. So, let's see what the tarot has to say. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels. Oh, wow. Okay, that's nice. Interesting. Interesting. Successful year? Absolutely. Absolutely. Start with the Chinese New Year from February 4th, 2024 to February 4th, 2025. Successful year. We have the Sun, we have the King of Wands. We're going to be very career oriented, passion oriented, really finding our footing. We are also going to be we're going to be stepping into this time with a sense of like finances imbalance, like out of balance. And we're going to be really working diligently to balance everything, to secure everything, to move things forward. The Wood Dragon time, okay, year is really quite intense because wood fuels the element of fire. And what we're going to see is that the quality of the dragon is enhanced by it being under the wood element. So this is really quite intense and powerful. We have the Sun coming in. So if you have a question, the answer, you like a yes, no question, the answer is yes here. Now, if you're born on the cusp with Cancer or you have Cancer energy in your chart, that can be really intense. So just be mindful about this. Psychically, also, empathically, spiritually, you can be very much overwhelmed by things during this time. With the Chariot reverse, we can drown in emotion at time. We can like not feel, or yeah, it's going to be like I'm just going to push that aside, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like, oh my gosh, I feel so much. So just be mindful about this because if we can put this in balance, and if we can say, okay, I'm giving as much respect to the feeling element of me as I am to the passion, the drive, the the financial element of me, we will find balance. We will find harmony. We will be able to be almost unstoppable. But that is going to be, I don't want to say, well, it is going to be difficult. It's just going to be a bit difficult. So do be mindful about this during this time. With the Ace of Swords, this is God's source spirit. However you see the divine, the universe, handing us a gift that is just for us. All right. Are we taking it right now? No, not really. But we are molded by it and we are guided by it. So the Ace of Swords is taking this clarity, this insight, this tenacity, this fire, this sense of logic also. We are going to have brilliant minds during this time, a brilliant way with words, a brilliant way with weaving things, sculpting things together that move us forward in ways that we hadn't imagined. And it's going to be around our element of Mercury because Gemini, we are ruled by Mercury. And so that element of the words, the mind is going to be so strong and so beautiful within us. Okay, so let's see what Spirit has to say. And if you're interested in entering to receive a free reading, put a heart in the comment box below. A person will be chosen at random and announced on the 1st of March. So good luck to everyone. And do not be scammed by anybody contacting you in the comment box. It will not be me. The winner will only be announced through a video in all directions will be there. Oh, yeah. And if you're interested in purchasing a private reading, a private personalized meditation, or a healing, check out my website, daneharttarot.com. So here we have divinity. It's very interesting that we have the high priestess reversed, and yet we have divinity coming forward. We are going to be strengthening our connection with the divine. However, the divine enters into your life, whether it be through an orthodoxy, whether it be through spirituality, whether it be through your connection with nature, you are going to see your thread, your cord to the divine strengthened, but it is going to be a journey during this time. And it is going to be something that we think, oh, I can master this. And we're going to see that, our connection with divinity isn't mastered. We can't just simply follow a list of rules and then everything's like hunky dory. We need to really embrace it with our hearts. And we're going to see that our hearts are going to be put on a bit of a journey during this time, which is going to be fun. It is going to be fun. We may not like it the whole time, but it is going to be fun. Let's see what Spirit has to say, angels and spirit guides. Here we have flexibility. This is the sacral chakra, and we're going to see that this is flexibility reversed, and we're going to see that we're not as flexible as we want to be. So, or as our soul needs us to be. So we're going to be looking at this during this time and saying, how do I embrace my flexibility? How do I embrace my insights? How do I move me forward? And that's going to be a very big thing for us. We're going to be looking at, yeah, it's not our flexibility of movement. I see it more as our flexibility of soul. And we're going to be looking at a lot of our fears also during this time. And how is that stunting us? How is that holding us back? So, with our sacral chakra, that's where our sensual energy is held. That's where our creativity is held. And Spirit is saying, be more flexible. Do not let fears override you. We can be easily during this time, during this year, overrun by fear. And it's like, no, don't be. Don't be. It will be very easy to be overrun by fear. Don't be. Okay, let's see the energy we need to be mindful of. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly, angels and spirit guides, angels. Here we have the Eight of Cups. We need to be mindful of walking away from things too soon, especially when we get angry. That's going to be our main instinct. It's like, that's it, I'm gone, bye. And that's very Mercury energy of us. Mercury is also the god of travel. So here, just be mindful of walking away from things too soon or being too all or nothing during this time. Okay. So let's talk about the wood dragon for a moment. Now, this is a new 20-year feng shui cycle, which is going to be absolutely awesome. It lasts until, of course, 2044, which is really odd to say. And the dominant element during this 20-year cycle is going to be the fire element and also the number 9. So it starts with the wood dragon, which we haven't seen in 60 years. And we're going to see that there's going to be a big energy shift that happens during this time. I know we're talking about a 20-year cycle in a 1-year reading that we're doing here, but we're going to see this energy shift that's coming forward. And it's going to be for the next 20 years that is going to be guiding us. It's going to be leading us. It's going to be having us see things differently. These 20 years are going to complete a 180-year cycle. So we're going to see a shift in our world's energy and our way of perceiving things. So big change is happening. Now, fire is related to life, it's related to power, and it's related to comfort. The number 9, which is associated with dragons and phoenixes in Chinese tradition, is an auspicious number, and it signifies completion of luck. So what we're going to see here is that we're lucky during this time. This time is a lucky time, but it doesn't not come with its challenges. It's intense and it's powerful. So being aware of this is going to be super important. The dragon symbolizes power, nobleness, honor, luck, and success. And a dragon year really exemplifies activity and reaction. So we can be very active during this year and very reactionary during this year. This is why Spirit's saying, be mindful. We're going to have a tendency to be like, I'm out way faster than we need to be. So just be mindful about this during this time. 60 years ago, right? In the last wood dragon time period, Queen Elizabeth opened the 4th suspension bridge in Scotland, and NASA launched the Mariner. There we go, the Mariner. The Mariner spacecraft to study Mars. So that's huge. But also in the United States, the United States experienced the most powerful earthquake in history in Alaska with a 9.2 earthquake. That's the magnitude of the earthquake. So also be mindful that dragons, right? Also, wood dragons are associated with earthquakes. So be mindful about that during this time. Not to scare people, but just so that you know. Okay, so let's see this time as related to the tarot. So we do have this huge change coming forward. We're going to see that around our passion, around our determination. We are going to see that things don't necessarily feel balanced, and that's because we're in this shift of a cycle. We're in this cycle shift in feng shui. We're going to also see, a connection to more order, more harmony, more insights. And wherever we are in discord, that's going to be amplified a bit. That's what I'm seeing here as well. This is not a lightly hitting time for us. This is a very heavy hitter. We have 3 major arcana cards. 2 of them are reversed. Our psychic development with the High Priestess comes forward. Our veil is being lifted from our eyes, but we're not really willing to see, or willing to see sounds harsh to say, but it's like we have a bit of a battle with the insight that is coming our way. So do be mindful about this. With the with the Chariot coming forward, there is a sense of emotions kind of taking over. Our emotions can be super, super, super intense, and we need to rein things in. And we're going to find that as we rein things in, we're going to need to see what's important to me, what isn't important to me, how do I move forward, where is it that I want to be. But we can also be very emotional and reactionary during this time, which can be emotionally very overwhelming to us. So that's going to be important to understand. With the Ace of Swords, we're cutting through doubts, fears, and negativity. We're finding our voice. We're finding our determination, our focus. This is a gift just for us. There's a clarity that's coming forward that's going to guide us in a way that we hadn't imagined and didn't know we needed. There's going to be an insight that leads us. There's going to be a knowing that protects us. And we're going to see that luck is on our side during this time. There is a real sense of things coming together, of us seeing ourselves, a light shining. We're going to see our passion, our distinction moving us forward. The King of Wands is fire, determination, focus, insight. We are really embracing fire sign energy. So if we have fire sign energy in our chart, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius, we are going to see that exemplified during this time. We are going to see ourselves driven. We are also going to see ourselves transforming. This is not going to be a year that we stay the same. This is going to be a year where we're looking at things and saying, how do I move forward? Where is it that I want to be? What is it that I desire? We are going to go through times with the Six of Pentacles of, am I hoarding this information or am I leading it forward? So we can be like a dragon and want to hoard all the gold within us and around us. And we can also be like a dragon and just let out this wealth, like let out this show of wealth and prestige. So just be mindful about this. We do need a balance of it. This can be a time where we are so driven towards success, we forget everything else. We need to be mindful about this through taking care of ourselves, mental health wise, also emotionally, we need to make sure that we're taking care of ourselves. We can burn out during this time because we are pushing ourselves so hard. We can also have our fears kind of wash over us, take over us, make us doubt, make us feel chaotic, make us think that I can't do this, type of thing. And so this is going to be a time where we need to look at our hearts, we need to look at what we love, and we need to put things into perspective because it will be very easy for one thing to take over and us not to see anything else. We are going to be very, very inspired, actually a little bit too inspired during this time. It can be very overwhelming. So do be mindful about this. This is a great year to keep a little notebook by you, keep down, and jot down all the information, all the passion, all the inspiration that guides you forward. And, let that just be a part of you during this time because it's going to be a game changer because you're going to see that you have inspiration for like 20 years, right? You're going to see yourself moving forward towards this information, towards this passion, towards this power, towards these insights in ways that you hadn't imagined that you would. You're going to see yourself changing in the way that you perceive your success, your prosperity, and your abundance. You're going to be looking at things very, very differently, Gemini. And as you look at these things differently, you're going to be saying, okay, what do I want to be lucky in? Like, what do I want to achieve? How do I want to move forward? What is it that's important to me? Things are going to be put into perspective during this time that had lost their perspective for quite some time. And you're going to be finding your voice. You're going to be finding your step, your determination, your focus, your insight. There's going to be clarity that comes to you. It is going to be a bit more difficult for us to connect with our angels for one reason or another, our spirit guides. This is going to be a time where spiritual practice is going to be so important, and yet it's going to be one of the first things that we think, no, not that. Like, no, not that. Because we're going to think, oh, it's just wasting our time. And spirit's like, no. If you want to achieve and if you want to succeed, then you have to meditate, then you have to, have that connection come forward. I'm just seeing Spring Forest Qigong. That's what I really love doing. Connect with that again. I've gotten off task with that one. So here it's like connect back to what you know your soul needs because there's fear around you. And it's now time to connect again to what is sacredly important to you. We are going to see this time be one where we can have emotional burnout because we are so driven, because we are working so hard, because we are pushing ourselves. There is this luck to us. And we're like, okay, if I'm succeeding in achieving, I'm not going to let up. And spirit's like, if you don't let up, then spirit's going to make you, take your foot off that gas pedal. So just be mindful about this. It doesn't have to be anything big at all. It can be something very small, but it is going to be something where it's like, okay, now you have to stand in your energy. Now you have to see yourself. Things are going to be out of balance. There is a sense of of being a bit of a drama, a drama queen during this time. So just be mindful about this because we're going to think, oh, it's out of balance. It's always going to be out of balance. But it's actually, we're going to see that our wealth gets out of balance when our energy gets out of balance. So just be mindful about this because we're going to see that we need to harmonize ourselves. We need to look at our prosperity and we need to look at every single day as a blessing because that's going to be what propels us forward into success and guides us into our happiness. The sun is the happiest card in the whole entire deck. That's why I was super excited when it showed up in this reading. It's like, oh my gosh, the happiness. You get to shine. You get to embrace your talents, your treasure. Like what absolutely is your brilliance gets to come forward. Now, what we're being told is that we also have to rein in our emotions. We have to rein in and focus ourselves. It will be very easy for things to get messy during this time. And that's just not going to help us. So do be mindful about this. Rein things in, looking at what we love, being able to shape our emotions, even being able to hone our emotions, being much more focused, being much more guided is going to be sacred to us. It's going to be important and it's going to lead us forward. There's a sense of like we're holding ourselves back for one reason or another, especially if you are psychically, empathically, or spiritually gifted. You're holding yourself back for one reason or another. And Spirit is saying, why? You're stepping into your power during this time. You're cutting through nonsense. You're going to be like a scalpel, being able to take off the negative, the chaotic that has been around us. So do be aware of this. If you have Cancer, again, in your chart or in your life, you can find that energy to be hard to relate to find balance in, or to understand. So being aware of that is going to be an important thing. We can also find the time frame from June 21st to July 22nd to be a chaotic one for us, for be an overwhelming one for us. So being aware of that too is going to be very, very powerful. We are going to transform during this time, especially around our fire and our passion. We're going to be looking at things differently, but we're going to see that we are not the same person at the beginning of February 4th, 2024, as we are on, 2020, on February 4th, 2025. So being aware of that is going to be a super important thing. Yeah. Just going to listen for a moment. What's interesting here is that there's an innate sense of I'm denying myself my power and my deeper understanding because it's not fitting into the way that I thought I should be seeing it. So just be mindful about this during this time is that we're going to have passion leading us forward. We're going to have great intuition guiding us, but it's not going to be what we think it should be or how we thought we would perceive our success. And Spirit is saying here, think outside of the box. That's going to be one of the most important things for us, Gemini. Think outside of the box and let yourself listen to what Spirit has to say. Let yourself listen to what is guiding you forward in a way that you hadn't imagined before. You are going to be surprised at the doors that open for you during this time, but it's not necessarily going to be what you want to see. It's going to be what you need to see and what you need to connect with. And that's going to be a game changer. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So let's see what Spirit has to say. Love reversed. We need to let love guide us forward because it's going to be something that is, for one reason or another, we're going to think that it doesn't matter. It's very interesting because that's come through with everybody so far is that you need to embrace love. You need to embrace love. And with the Wood Dragon year, we're going to think, I need to embrace power. I need to embrace success. I need to push things forward. We can be ruthless during this time. We just absolutely can be, breathing the fire, putting everything to ashes, capturing what other people think is sacred so that we can hold it hostage and then, reap more of a reward from it. You're going to see that during this time. You are. You're going to see a level of ruthlessness, a level of, intensity that needs to be combated with love. It just needs to be. Nobody's going to want to or instinctually think to, but it's going to need to be combated with love. And we'll see it within ourselves. And it can be something that we'll think, oh, wow, this is making me super successful. But if we don't have the love there, if we don't have the passion there, if we don't have the beauty there, it's not going to guide us in the place that we truly need to be and in the way that we truly need to move forward. So being aware of this during this time, that we need to make love our center and our whole universe, that's going to be a game changer. We're filling ourselves with a lot of noise and a lot of nonsense. Our world is. That's coming through very, very powerfully. And it's heightening our anxiety because it's making us think of our greatest fears. and it's bringing our greatest fears forward. And what we're going to see is that the wood dragon time period is a time where we can defeat our greatest fears, where we can conquer what is trying to hold us back. But we need to have faith within ourselves. We need to have love within ourselves. And we need to listen to the higher power of spirit to guide us in a direction that we had always wanted to see, or that we had always longed for, but also have always been afraid of. So being aware of that is going to be super important. It moves us to our subconscious message from spirit, and that's personal power. We are going to be connecting with our guts during this time. We're going to be learning to listen to ourselves, that we are powerful, that we are guided, that we are knowing ourselves more and more and more. This is a time where we need to start seeing us, and we need to start seeing our power. Your gut is going to be talking to you. You're going to say, Gemini, I have a gut feel. There's just a gut reaction to this. What is this? It is spirit talking to you. Listen, listen. You're going to be surprised at the way it leads you forward. You're going to be surprised at what comes forward. It's going to be powerful and it's going to be insightful. It leads us then to our energy to be mindful of, and it's the moon. Be mindful, because this is going to be a time where you can see yourself and you can easily see it. You're seeing it now, okay, where your greatest fears will drown you, where you could just be absolutely overrun by fear. This is also Pisces energy, so do be mindful of Pisces energy if it's in your chart. A time frame February 19th to March 20th, okay? Or if they're in your life, you can find that like you're just tested by Pisces. So just be aware of this during this time, that your fears can come forward and they can absolutely overrun you. They can become just powerful. They can become powerful, powerful energies that hold you back in ways that you hadn't imagined. Your fears can absolutely take over your life during this time. And it could be like the dragon, hiding away with all their treasure around them, all your talents around you. But I'm too afraid. I'm too afraid I can't do it. So just be aware of that. You have the power to be able to cut through a lot of doubts and fears and negativity. You have a power to embrace your nobility during this time. The sword energy is also that nobility. And so you're going to see that, that energy comes forward. You're going to see that the power leads you in ways that you hadn't imagined. But this will be a time where fear can absolutely take over. And you're not exactly sure why, but it is because psychically and emotionally, you can be just overloaded, and we're going to have a time to have things to be out of balance, right? We're going to say, oh, I'm spending all my energy here, or I'm spending all my energy here. Harmonizing, balancing is not going to be something that comes naturally to us during this time. So it's going to be something that we have to work on. It's going to be really important. Our subconscious tarot message is the Page of Wands. Fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. If you have fire sign energy in your chart, if you have fire sign energy in your life, especially young fire sign energy, that's going to be teaching you a lot, but also connecting with your inner child, embracing your passion, embracing your determination, also knowing that at times you can just freeze and not know why. That's just going to be part of this time. It's like we can be going so fast, and then the magnitude of everything, it's kind of like a rabbit being hunted, right? We have that little rabbit right here. And what do rabbits do when they feel they're being hunted, or when they know they're being hunted? They freeze. And it's going to be the dragon time, right? The dragon coming over us. What happens? You could be so terrified, you freeze. So just be aware of this. We can do a meditation where we connect with our inner child, taking a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. And hold your arms open. Visualize yourself holding your arms open to the child that you once were, and letting that child run into your arms and saying to that kid, I love you. I will always love you. I will always be here for you. You are sacred to me. I will protect you. I will believe you. I always believe you. You are safe. You will say you are safe, and you are saved. Like you are safe from all the hurt and all the pain, because I got you. And now is a good time. Now is a powerful time, because I will always be here for you. All right. All right, Gemini. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we embrace the power, intensity, and beauty of this time and of ourselves. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Gemini. May blessings and prosperity always be with you. I love you all. God bless, and have a blessed Chinese New Year. Bye.